Welcome to another allotment diary. I apologise for the slight delay there. I was just looking at something and being quite concerned. I'll show you it in a second actually, it just caught my attention. Right, well, we've had some much needed rain. Look, dry, wet soil. It's the first time for a long time I've had to put my wellies on to actually come down here, so they get covered in mud. So it's absolutely lovely to see we've had a really good amount of rain over the last 24 hours. If we have a look up in the sky, it's blue sky. Still a hint of a bit more rain. I think it's going to pick up over the next few days. Good side of the rain, everything loves it, everything grows. The downside, the weeds love it too. It's really frustrating. I mean, this was quite down. It's all come up. Compost is doing well. He says it's getting quite full. It's quite nice quality compost in there. If you dig down, it's actually looking really good. This pile here is rotted down nicely because this was shoulder height. It's now waist height, so it's gone down good sort of 1.5 to 2 feet, which is lovely. Now let's just show you around and update you on what we've got down here. In fact, I should have brought them down if I thought about it and I forgot. Here is some let me get this right. It's cauliflowers on this side, and then when it starts to get bigger, these are different types of broccoli, purple sprouting and just normal broccoli. These were continuity packs. I got them from Sutton Seeds. I'd really recommend getting on Thompson and Sutton's are the two main ones. Get on their mailing lists, email lists, because they send out deals, and these packs were 24 plants and it cost me £1.99, so which is absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant price. You can see there's a couple there that unfortunately didn't really make it. See that one's looking okay, but there's a dead one there and one there that isn't likely to get through the night, so to speak. But the rest are looking quite healthy, surprisingly. These were planted when it was actually quite dry, so I think they've struggled. Now these were my purple majesty potatoes. You see the just zoom in on one of them. You can see there the slightly purpley stalks. But over here you can see the greeny stalks. The green stalks are a pink fir apple, a pink fir potato, and the other ones are the purple majesty. So I'm going to lift some of those today. They were quite small when I lifted a few the other day, so not sure quite how they're going to be, but I need potatoes for tea, so they're getting lifted. My sunflowers, I think they were near as tall as they should be. They were kept in pots too long, unfortunately, but you can see loads of flower heads on them. On that particular one, that one's only got the one flower head, and this has got a couple on it, but it's doing well. Seeds are looking nice in there, so let this dry out for a little bit more. I'll cut the head, I'll put it up somewhere for the birds and encourage some birds down here. In fact, there's one of my purple majesty potatoes peeking its head above the soil, so we'll get this up in a bit and we'll see what we've got. Now what I was going to show you, which concerned me somewhat, is here. Right, look at these. Can you see them? Those are mole holes. There are moles on the plot, and it appears that they are taking hold. So that's a bit disturbing, to be honest, because they do damage the roots of crops. I know they've affected some other plots, but they've obviously made it over to this side, which is a little bit upsetting. The sweet corn here, though, it has produced a couple of cobs. You can see one at the back there. Fortunately, they're not doing quite as well. They're very small and starting to flower already, which unfortunately, I think they were kept too long in plots, so you're not going to see a lot of those. Meanwhile, on the plot, away from the moles, we have pumpkins. There's the first one. Yes, I know it's not particularly big. They were planted quite late, but these plants have literally tripled in size in about 3 days. So I'm going to let them grow another sort of few feet long, and then I'm going to pull the ends off so they concentrate on producing the fruit. Now, one thing I want to show you is over here. You see that one with the little round blob just behind the flower? That's a female flower. They're the ones that obviously produce the pumpkins. And let me just find you a male one. Yeah, look in here. Let's just zoom out a bit. Sorry about that. there. Trying to get in here to show you without damaging myself. There, that's going to be a male flower. You can see that there isn't the round blob behind it, which becomes a pumpkin. So if you're one of these people that want to pull off parts of your pumpkin, the male flowers, you know, that's the difference. They're the male ones. But you can see, you know, there's another one there, another female one, and a bunch more there. So they're doing wonderfully. Let me just stand up. So pulling back, you can see there the whole pumpkins. They've really grown well in the last couple of weeks from tiny little plants to really, really big plants. They've benefited a lot from being planted on top of a mound of muck. I put a load of horse manure underneath them, and I've been watering them every day, and that's what they need, and they go crazy. You can see runners coming out over there, and it's really, really going for it. Now the one over there, that one with the fruit on, I thought that was a butternut squash, but obviously it's not. That one there that almost died because of slugs may well be the butternut squash, but we'll see, we'll find out. I don't know which is which, but it's all looking good. These are looking good, and I'm excited and hoping they'll ripen in time for Halloween. What's happening with the camera there? Right, let's just get the camera straight. The New Zealand yam, the Otka here, is doing remarkably well. It seemed to suffer a little with the lack of water over the last few days, and it sort of wilted over, but giving it a good water, and certainly with the rain that is happening now, and the rain we've had over the last few days, that's really worked and picked it up. So come autumn, they should be really tasty. The onions, these have done surprisingly well. They're not giant onions by any stretch of the imagination, but they're usable. So give it another week or two, let it dry off, and I think a lot of these will be lifted, and I'll enjoy those. The leeks are doing okay. I've still got more to plant, but I planted a load of these little tiddly ones here, you can see there, in the last week. But you can see the weeds are just going crazy, which is really upsetting actually. You put so much in clearing the plot, and then, you know, the weeds are back, and you just don't seem to have time to do anything. My courgette plants, again late compared to everyone else, but look, there's a courgette, and there's a couple more over there, and there's one hiding there, which is lovely. The runner bean plant has done quite well, and you can see it's gone up to the top of the pole there, so that's doing lovely. So got my fingers firmly crossed that will be producing some runners very soon. Let's just go over here. Now I grow my cucumbers, or I try to grow them, vertically up a structure like this. Unfortunately, the cucumber plants this year haven't particularly obliged. I have tried to get them to grow upwards, but they keep deciding they've got other things in mind, and they're now all the way over here. So it's a bit hard for me to straighten them up. I might try in a minute. But we go in here. Look, there's one there, and there's a jolly nice one hiding in there. A couple of flowers just down there as well. So that's starting to look quite nice. A couple more weeks, that'll be good to eat. What I've noticed about growing them up a frame like this, when you can successfully train them to grow up the frame, is that the cucumbers do come out a lot straighter with thinner skins as well. I think it's because they don't have to worry too much about slugs, so you tend to get quite a nice thin skin on them, and it's actually, yeah, I think it's a lot nicer. So I always tend to grow them like this these days. We just had a quick pause of the video there so I could encourage them to grow upwards, so let's see what happens with those. Over here we've got my runner beans. It's turned into a bit of a monster. No fruit on them yet, but some very pretty flowers. The dwarf beans are over here. I only got 2 survived. They seem to be doing okay. There'll be something. It's not going to be, you know, anything to write home about, but hey, what the hell? It's something. Over here, let me just, sorry, I'm trying to find my way down the back here. I'm very pleased with that. there behind my other leaf, my first marrow. Not very big, give it time, it'll grow. So really happy with that. These are my collies. They're touch and grow. For some reason that one in the middle there just really isn't happy, whereas the others seem alright. I don't know if there's a problem with the soil down this end, because this rhubarb plant is constantly having its leaves turn yellow, and that's got all yellowed leaves on it, and so is that one. So I don't know whether there's a problem with the soil or something. Your guess is as good as mine, but I'll keep feeding them and try my best with them. So let's go and have a look over here. Now, hiding under this patch here, you can see all that greenery. It's, oops, there we are, beetroot. And let's have a close up of this one. There you are, look, yum beetroot. This is a variety golden beetroot, which I must admit I really like. Ow! I've just got yourself on a thistle. Look, there's a thistle hiding in there. Stupid thing. I like golden beetroot. I love beetroot, but the problem with the red beetroot is you end up with a kitchen that looks like a murder scene. So I don't tend to grow it, to be really honest with you, because it's just very messy. But the golden beetroot is, I think, so much sweeter. Oh, there's thunder on the horizon. So much sweeter and not anywhere near as messy. You can see here some radishes. There's one of them. Might take a few of those home. There's a few that's starting to, I mean, this is literally, I looked at these a couple of days ago and these were tiny, and I thought, my radishes haven't done anything. Oh well, never mind, we live in there, and I'll plant some more later in the week. You know, never got round to planting more, you know, it's always something else that needs doing. But we've had rain for the last couple of days, so obviously I've not managed to come down. As well as I don't mind getting wet, I object to getting soaking wet. So I haven't come down for a couple of days, and I think this variety might have actually been a long radish looking at them, as they're all the sort of similar shape. I suspect I planted I don't know what you call this type of radish. They're all going to have to come back because they're ready. So if I leave them in, the trouble is you leave them in the ground and they end up going woody, and then it's a real waste. That's my mixed leaves. Just try one. Not too bad. I'm not a big lettuce fan. I must admit, I don't tend to grow it that often. But you can see, look, I don't know if that looks like lettuce there. It's starting to flower, so let's just pinch those off. I suspect this is about ready to be used, to be honest. This is meant to be rocket. It's come up, but it's very holy. And those are spring onions. Now, let's go over this way. Peas. I've grown a few types of peas here, if you remember. Petit pois, mange tout, and a main crop pea. They've all come out there. I'll show you the actual crop in a minute. But you can see here, this is a mange tout one that I've actually left go a little bit past its best, to be honest. But you can see the mange tout ones have flowers on that look like sweet peas. They're very similar to sweet peas. But if I open this one up, yeah, it's definitely thunder. You can see they're a reasonable sized pea. So the ones that gone past it, I've just picked up and eaten. Unfortunately, I didn't support my peas. I see they're all blown over, which is a bit frustrating. But look, if you look down here, you can see bits and pieces of pea pod scattered everywhere. And if you look over here, look, you can see some of them where the end's been chewed off, and I suspect that's mice. I did find a rather large rat in the middle of my pathway that was dead the other day, so we're getting quite a lot of wildlife down here. Sorry, just eating the mange tout pea, so lovely. I found a rather large rat that I'm assuming one of the neighbourhood cats had left me as a present or as an offering, and it looks like something like that has been eating the peas where they've been close to the ground. So I'm going to have to be quite careful, I think, with a lot of the stuff over here, and try and hurry up to clear the plot, because there's obviously stuff living in this somewhere, which is a bit of a shame. But it's getting there, you know, it's doing well. Things are looking nice. I certainly can't complain, but this is the next bit to clear. And you see I've started over there. I filled 2 buckets of stones just out that little bit. So I'm opening a stone farm, I think, or building Stonehenge. But we're looking very, very good. I'm pleased though. I'm just it's frustrating about the weeds. You can see here, you know, that bit 3 days ago there was not a weed in sight there, and now they're everywhere. So I'm gonna have to come back here, and if I get it finished and I get it edged properly, then I know where to spray the weed killer. But yeah, I think this is the battle we always have here with any allotment holder with weeds, and frankly it is a bit soul destroying when you spend ages clearing, come down after a couple of days and there's loads of weeds there. You've got to be in the right frame of mind to cope with it, really. It is upsetting, but I'll get that cleared. I'll clear the rest. I've got loads of stuff to plant for winters. I've got lots of winter broad beans. I've got them at a cracking deal from one of our local shops. Got winter potatoes, winter collies, winter broccoli. Things like that can all overwinter, and that'd be fine. But you know, every allotment holder will tell you they have the times where they just go, oh, fed up with the weeds, and which is why I say to you, come down with the hoe it 2-3 times a week, and it'll get under control. It's unfortunate when you leave it, and you know, you can see it in the other allotment holders' plots. They spend ages clearing the spot, and then they don't do anything for a week or two, and you come back and it's covered in weeds again, and it is soul destroying. I'll be blunt with you, it's very tough, but you know, it's a continual battle every year with the weeds, and it's only by continued action that you will get there. But you can see that there's big results on this plot now compared to how it was just even a month ago. You know, there was bare soil, weeds, and you know, look there, we've got an entire bed of salad veg. How brilliant's that? You know, we've got all this rhubarb doing stunningly well. Onions that I thought weren't going to grow, they've shot up and they've done really well. We're clearing this bit, which is going to become a fruit bed, and we've got more space to clear down there. So it's getting there, and we're doing well. But like I said, it's just keep on trogging away, little bit at a time, little bit whenever you can. You know, not all of us have hours to spend down at their allotment, but you know, I'd recommend cucumbers like that. Really works. You can see my broad bean tower there is leaning over when the wind's caught it. It's all part and parcel of owning an allotment. And over there you can just see the trailer there, a runner there from my blackberries that I'm going to have to tie up. I had no idea they'd grow this big. They were tiny at the beginning of the year. I thought it'd be a couple of years before they grew big, so they're due to be tied up. I put some canes in place, and when I get 5 minutes I'll tie them up, and then they can start growing across. Same with the goji berries over there. They need proper tying up and securing, but it's all looking good. We've got good results, so I'm going to lift some of my red potatoes very quickly before the rain sets in. There's thunder in the distance, the wind's picked up, and don't know if you can see that big black threatening cloud there, and over in the distance there, look, there's another one, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you actually see the rain over there. So I'm going to be very quick lifting some potatoes and run before I get soaking wet, and that'll be no fun at all. So good luck with your allotment. Let me know how you're getting on. Let me know any specific questions or things you really want to see, and I'll share it with you, and I'll speak to you in another video very soon. Now I'm just lifting the purple majesty potatoes. I just wanted to show you these very quickly. Unfortunately the crop's not brilliant. It's nowhere near as many as last year, and they're nowhere near as big. But you can see there's one of the potatoes. They're purple all the way through, which is rather pleasant. And they're lovely colour and a lovely tasting type of potato. Unfortunately there's quite a lot of very small ones, but you can see they're actually quite difficult to spot because of the colour. They end up looking like, you know, that's got a bit of mud on it. That looks like a rock. So I know last year when I had the kids down here helping me, they were bless them, they were picking up rocks that were this sort of colour and going, is that a potato? And they are quite hard to tell, but they're a good tasting potato. Look, there's another one. You can see there how that looks like a rock, but that's not in good condition, so I'm not taking that home. Nor's that one. So yeah, they're very nice. You can see how purple the roots are. Everything is there. You see how very purple they are. A brilliant variety of potato to grow though. I really recommend them. They are blight resistant, which obviously helps. And you can see, look, there's another couple. You see how hard they are to spot. That one's rotten. That one's okay. There's another one there. You see how very difficult they are to spot. But they are very tasty. So if you're wondering what potatoes to grow next year, look, there's another one. Let's just put them in the bag there. Nice lot. If you're wondering what variety of potatoes to grow next year, I can recommend them. I'd get them in a bit earlier next year, so they've got plenty of time to grow. Last year I had really good sized ones. A lot of them were the size of decent quality baking potatoes. So they're absolutely delicious. But this year, unfortunately, late in, they're a bit smaller. But all the tops are off, so fingers crossed they'll continue to grow. So anyway, the wind's really picking up now, so I'm going to quickly throw these in the bag and get out of here before I get soaking wet. So have fun. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.